Hi, I'm Christina.
And I'm Tanner.
And we're Step by Step Band. It's been about a year since our last update video, and we've done a few things off camera since then.
We've taken off the walls and the shelving just to clean up a little bit. And then we've also taken down the garage door to replace it with doors that we got for free from Craigslist.
Ew. And those doors swing out, so we're able to save some headspace at the top as well as open in a completely different way.
Yeah.
We also finalized our van layout, which we'll be sure to share with you guys. But for this video, we wanted to focus on what we've done in the past few weeks, which is finish up installation as well as install our first window. So for installation, we used 3 products. The first layer was Reflectix, the second was an inch thick of foam board insulation, and then we circled back with some spray foam to hit any of the spots we didn't miss, as well as fill in some of our hollow braces to the best of our ability.
And then after installation, we got started on installing the windows and the wall, which was a multi-step long process.
Exactly. So we watched a lot of YouTube videos for inspiration, 2 of which stood out the most to us, and we tried to follow along in a very similar process. The first was from RV Geeks, and the second was from A Little Adrift, which we'll be sure to link in the description below.
So in order to start prepping for putting in the windows and the wall, we had to cut one of the braces on each side of the van so that we could put a wood frame that we cut out of 3/4 inch plywood. We used the clamp ring of the window as a template for that frame, and then we cut it.
Right, and so we were able to figure out, since we had a finalized layout, where exactly that window would need to be so that it is above what will be the backs of our benches, as well as not bleeding too far into our kitchenette. So that way we had
as well as low enough for our cabinetry that would be at the top.
So low enough for our cabinetry to fit as well. So we knew the right height, we knew about the right placement, and then we were able to pick a spot that would only require us cutting 1 brace, which was definitely preferred so that they can continue to be load bearing, or the ones that aren't cut.
It also ended up being super lucky that our frames were this length, and then in between two of the braces with 1 brace in the middle was exactly that same length.
Right, we didn't plan that. It just happened to work out.
It just happened.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Exactly. Then we were ready to cut the hole in the exterior wall of the van, which I would personally say was the most terrifying moment.
No turning back.
No turning back.
And so after we cut that hole, it was kind of a mad dash of getting the window fitted as well as the wall fitted. So after we cut the hole in the exterior wall, we had to hurriedly throw up the van wall that we had taken down before.
Right, so that wall was original to the van. It's only maybe about a 1/4 thick inch of plywood, but
it's not very thick.
Right, so instead of creating a new template, cutting that out again, we've saved that wood. It's not as beautiful as maybe it will be at the end, and you might notice that when we show you some clips, but it was a much simpler process, but definitely rushed the whole get the window installed, cut this, cut that, etc. process.
Yeah, and we had painted the back of that wall as well, just with some weatherproofing paint to keep the moisture out from keeping mold from growing on the back of our wall. So after we got the wall thrown back in, we used that hole that we had cut in the side of the van as a template for the inside wall. So we drew from the outside on the inside wall the circle window shape, and then we hurriedly took back down the wall and ran to our garage and cut it out with a jigsaw.
Yes.
And after we got that cut, again, hurriedly put it in the van, made sure we could bolt it back up to all the braces, made sure the windows all lined up, like the window cuts that we had made, the holes.
Which surprisingly they did without much adjustments.
Yeah.
So not everything we did great, but that was actually pretty good.
Yeah, that was
Go team.
pretty good. We've been pretty lucky.
Yeah, pretty lucky.
Yeah. And then we test fitted the window, made sure everything fit, made sure that the clamp ring would fit in there, and kind of clamped the window. And then we prepared the window for installation.
Right, so for the exterior, not sticker, but essentially to hold it in place on the outside, we used
Kind of
butyl
a
tape.
sealant.
Yes, a sealant, that's the right word. We used butyl tape, which is almost like a silly putty texture. It was a little bit wider than the, what would you say, rim of our window. So we had to go back and use a putty knife to adjust that. But it stuck very quickly.
Yeah. Make sure you have the window exactly where you want it before you push that butyl tape off. On, yes. Push it on.
Right, because I'll say in this case, we did not do a great job. But
it worked out perfect.
Yeah.
Yet again, lucky.
Lucky.
But
very stressful.
Yeah. We put the window up there and kind of held it just slightly on the wall, and it wouldn't come back off. She was even pushing from the inside, pushing out, and it wouldn't come off.
Right. But luckily, once we were able to install the clamp ring, that really, which goes on the inside, so it kind of pulls together those two pieces, that really tightened what we needed to seal there. So it was really the top corner that was our concern, but at the end of the day, it ended up working out just fine.
Just fine.
Just fine.
It was perfect. And then, a little later on, we put some sealant, marine RV.
Auto and marine sealant by DAC or DAC. I don't know what the company calls itself.
But it's kind of like the cleared silicone stuff that you'd see on a fish tank or something to put the panes of glass together. But using RV Geek's video, we learned how to put that sealant on, nice and clean lines, and now we think we have no worries about it being waterproof.
Alright, so that is an update of everything that we have done so far. Next up on the list is to install the interior wall and window on the passenger side of the vehicle. And then after that, we will get started on the ceiling. So we've bought some of the paneling that we'll be using for that. And
started staining it as well.
Yeah, so we started the prep work there, but hopefully to finish that up after we get the second window installed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully it's less than a year by the time we post another video, but we appreciate you guys following along with the adventure. For the most frequent updates, feel free to check out our Instagram at stepbystepvan, and our blog, which is less frequent but still frequent, at stepbystepvan.weebly.com.
Thank you guys.
See ya. Oh, no, that's not the button.
No.
Shoot! Ah, heck!
Shoot. No, yeah, that's not the button.
So for I have to restart this. Okay.
Be it freaking nice.
So far, next up.
This isn't working.
Oh my gosh. Forget about it.
That's our dog, Bruce.